Sri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Jai Shri Ram. Welcome to our next episode in our complete reading of Srimad Valmiki Ramayana. I have a small correction to make with respect to the previous episode. I made a small mistake in the previous episode. I said when Viswamitra performed that 1000 years of penance in the Pushkara Tirtha, Devatas came to him and said that he became Maharshi, but actually they call him as a Rishi only there. So this is a different thing, Rishi and Maharshi. Maharshi is when he is free of all his Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Madamatsarya, then he becomes a Maharshi. When he has got a complete control over his senses, he becomes a Maharshi. Okay, so Viswamitra was a Rishi. I made a mistake in the previous episode, in the 50th episode. Kindly please forgive me for that. I am correcting it now. He did not yet become a Maharshi, he was a Rishi. Now he goes to place near Himavat Parvata, and there he again starts his penance. And here again he does tapasya for 1000 years. That's when all the devatas come again, and now they call him, you have become a Maharshi. And then he becomes oblivious to all the praise and all that they do to him. He almost feels that he has crossed the Kama, Krodha, and everything. And then he looks at Brahmaji, because Brahmaji has come and called him as Maharshi. He looks at Brahmaji and says, Hey Chaturmukha Brahma, hey son of Lord Vishnu, I think I have finally crossed the Kama and Krodha and all the things. Chaturmukha Brahmaji says, No, you have not still become Jitendriya. You are still in the process. You have not yet become Jitendriya. Saying this, they all would leave. Vishwamitra gets a doubt as to why he is still not being called as a Jitendriya. And again he starts doing his tapasya. And when he is doing his tapasya, because he has to become a Brahmarshi, right? So that's the next step. So when he is still doing the tapasya, all of a sudden Devendra now says, okay, we'll test him further. And he sends and he approaches one of the greatest apsaras, Rambha, and says, you go there and try to break Viswamitra Maharshi's tapasya. Now Viswamitra Maharshi, who is doing tapasya over there, one fine morning, he goes and sees Rambha. Now before coming here, Rambha also pleads with Indra, saying that what if Vishwamitra is going to give me a curse, because he is known for his anger. I would not like to take chances. Then Devendra says, I and Manmadhar are also going to come. Nothing is going to happen to you. Let's go. When finally that moment comes, when Viswamitra Maharshi looks at the Apsara, then he realizes that it is again a ploy by Devatas to reduce his tapashakti. Now he gets very angry and he gives a shapavak to Rambha, saying that you will remain as a stone for a long time. It's more than 10 years. It's almost 10 years that he'll say that you will be like a stone. Again, he lost his tapashakti. Then he realizes that no, he did not control his anger. So he said he crossed Kama, Krodha, and everything. But then now he again got caught up in Krodha. Then he realizes that okay, I have made a mistake. And this time he goes and he starts doing a huge, strong penance. And after many years, one day he feels hungry and he does some bhikshadana and gets some food. At the same time, to test if he has crossed the level of hunger, Devendra again comes as a yachaka, as a beggar, and he asks for alms from Viswamitra Maharshi. And Viswamitra Maharshi happily gives away a small amount of food that he got after so many years. And Devendra takes it. And after this, again Vishwamitra is back in the tapasya. Now the Homa Dhuma is actually going very high, and it is almost threatening all the worlds. And when it is threatening almost all the worlds, all the devatas, they come to Vishwamitra and say, hey Vishwamitra, what do you want? Then he says, I need the adhikara to teach Vedas to students. I want to get Brahmatva. I want to get the Brahmarshitva. And then he says, I have almost boiled my body. Please give me that. Then they all would say, see, we are not the people who would decide who is going to be a Brahmarshi. It should be Vasishtha who is going to decide whether you are a Brahmarshi or not. So go to Vasishtha and speak to him. When he moves towards Vasishtha's ashram, Vasishtha comes over there and he says, We both are friends now. And he addresses Viswamitra as Brahmarshi. So that's the greatness of Viswamitra Maharshi. And who is listening to all this? Sri Ramachandra, who is less than 16 years old. He is listening to all this. And he realizes, I mean, look at the lessons it has got that, when you are doing penance or when you are doing tapasya, there are a lot of things that would bring you down. And what are some of those? The first one is your anger. Second one is you feeling that, you see, Vishwamitra in this journey has cleared everything. The first time somebody else had a cow, Vishwamitra wanted to take it off. That did not work. Then Vishwamitra tried all sorts of astras on a Brahmarshi. That did not happen. That did not work. Then he tried to prove to the world that he is better than Vasishtha by trying to send Trishanku. That also did not work out. Then he also, out of anger, he cursed all the sons of Vasishtha, he cursed. That also did not solve the issue for him. Then he curses his own sons. Then he falls into the trap of Menaka. Then again, in the meantime, there is a Satvika Ahankara also that comes to him, and he really genuinely helps Sunasefa also. But then again, once that is over, again when Rambha comes, he curses her. So this way, Viswamitra Maharshi, who has now become Brahmarshi, he shows all the obstacles that will come to us, and in the end, by giving away even the food, he proves to everyone that he actually has joined the league of those divine people or those self-realized people who would at all points of times dwell in Aham Brahmasmi state. Okay, and all this was taught to Rama by Shatananda. And who is Shatananda? He is Gautama's son. And why is he telling all this story? Because he is so happy. Shatananda is Ahalya's and Gautama's son, right? Shatananda is extremely happy because Vishwamitra took Sri Ramachandra to Ahalya's ashrama or Gautama's ashrama. Let us call it Ahalya's ashrama only. He took them there and he ensured that Ahalya's shapa is gone. He ensured Ahalya shapa vimochanam. And out of happiness about the person who got it done, and out of the happiness that his mother and father are reunited, Shatananda said all this, and Sri Ramachandra learned all this. Now, what would happen after this? Well, we are almost entering into the Kalyana Ghatta, or the Sita, or the marriage of Sri Ramachandra and Sita Mata. Before that, Shivadanur is also going to happen. How are all those going to happen? By God's grace, we should be able to see them in our next episodes. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pasyantu, ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhavet. Om Sarvam Sukhi Sahasram Haswan Charanarindar Paramastu. Om Tat Sat. Om